Hey everybody, Monkeypuzzle here, and what do you say we play some more Minecraft? This is in fact episode number 22, playing the Unabridged mod pack on the Primus server. So welcome. Last I left you, we had just filled this compact machine over here with everything necessary to get going with PneumaticCraft. So let's take a quick peek in there. Just as a reminder, what happened last time, this was the big setup part, and nowadays, PneumaticCraft takes more than ever, so not a mod for everybody, but I love it. It was pretty complicated. I spent maybe 3 days of sessions on this, but I showed that to you in the last video, so if you want to know how this all works and what it all does, definitely go check that out. The too long didn't read of it all is that these all generate air pressure, and then the air pressure helps us make various things. So this is our factory where we're going to make all the stuff that we need for PneumaticCraft. Is the compression thing here. Oh, time for whale again. The compression chamber, pressure chamber, and it squeezes things and makes things. And then over here we have our refinery that helps us make our plastics and stuff. So between last episode and this, let me see, last episode I'd already finished up by making drones. So we've got a bunch of drones and we're going to use those to build our new base today. So I'm pretty excited about that. That was pretty much the point of all this. And between now and then, I also made a few more things. Mainly I made some, oh actually let me turn this on real quick. The whole thing turns on with this lever and this lever, at least for all the redstone flux air compressors versus the coal compressors, which turn on right there, which I don't use most of the time anyway. So anyway, these are full of liquid plastic that is made from this stuff here, the LPG, the liquid petroleum gas, I think. So in here now, with the liquid plastic made from the LPG through the, oh my gosh, the names of these things, the thermopneumatic processing plant, we can make the various plastics we need to make everything. So here, for instance, is a bunch of green plastic. Let me make sure that this selection isn't locked anymore. And from this in between episodes, I made a whole bunch of puzzle pieces, which Monkeypuzzle likes very much to make puzzle pieces. If you put a printed circuit board in the middle of a bunch of these, you can make the green programming puzzle piece in this case. So I know I'm going to need lots of those because those specify area in this. So I'll show you what that means in a second. But anyway, just wanted to pop in here real quick. We'll also be using this in order to have pressure for the drones and everything to refuel, because everything in this runs on pressure. And there's a couple other things I want to make too, but I think I might wait till the next episode to do that because it'll take a while. Like I want to make a pneumatic helmet and then we can get a readout on everything like Iron Man. But too many things to do today. Probably not going to finish all the things I want to do in this episode. In fact, I know I'm not. And let me just fall through the world for a second. And then, so this is what I finally did with that enhanced portal. I don't know if I showed you guys last time. And before the day breaks, let's go ahead and make the rain go away. So we'll have some nice recording conditions. Very nice, very nice. Put away my sleeping bag, and now that I'm rested up, I can be even more alert for you all. So this is just the little decoration I did with my enhanced portal that I made a couple episodes ago. And I got everybody's portals programmed in here, at least for the most part. And then at the very end, we can now teleport to what I'm calling Planet Redwood, which is what we're working on. So let's go in here, and out of this very modest portal frame here, we can come to where I have chosen to make my next base. And this one's kind of going to be a little hobby project, and this one is also going to be sort of the beginning of the learning curve for using these drones for building and any other tools that we want to use. So far, we have used the star core from the Star Miner mod, And that actually built this thing out of dirt and this other dirt stuff that's called star dirt, which is dirt all the way around. So it doesn't have a top and a bottom like this is, because the reason you'd want that, let me see, if we go ahead and get out our little star controller, this connects directly to that little star core right there, and we can turn the gravity up. So the radius of this star is 7. So if we turn the gravity up to say 10, now we can do this. Whoa hoo hoo. Let's pull back a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. We can walk all the way around. So the reason for the star dirt is so you can plant stuff upside down. And there are plants and stuff that we'll make to decorate this thing with that will come in handy. For now, let's turn the gravity off. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to make a great big sphere, big planetoid that we can do that gravity trick with. And I didn't go inside here, but you can actually reverse the gravity too with this other tool. And I could have walked around inside the sphere as well. So we'll be doing both of those things. So yeah, I want to make a bigger planetoid because this was just a little tester. And I've gotten a lot of stuff together in the meantime to do that with. And then we're going to go beyond that too. That's just going to be the beginning of it. I made a little list here. So first thing I needed was PneumaticCraft compression. Went ahead and did that. And then we needed to make a PneumaticCraft factory. Went ahead and did that. And we needed to make the drones, the puzzle pieces, and a number of different things that we're going to need for this. So I'll show you those as we go along. But we did that. So now we need to program in the shapes that we want to make. And I want to make a sphere. I want to make a ring around that sphere, kind of like Saturn, sort of. And I want to make a star field around the whole thing. So this is going to be a lot of fun. And this is going to be practice to help do even more complex shapes in the future. So this is like our little kindergarten here for building with drones again. I know I've done it in the past, but there are some new features, and I got some comments in previous videos of folks wondering exactly how you do it. So this is one of the cooler things, I think, definitely of PneumaticCraft, but also in Minecraft in general. I just love all the different mods that help you build things like this. And there was also the modular force fields and the builders and all that kind of stuff. So today it's the drones. And then once we get the programs ready to go, there's a couple more steps we'll need to do in order to get them ready to build. And then over here are a couple other things I want to do. We'll do those next episode, making the pneumatic helmet, like I said, and also an air cannon and both of these with entity trackers. And we'll get into that. That's going to be pretty fun. But for now, let's do some programming. So the drones are here in my little PneumaticCraft bag. I made a new bag for this, and I didn't name it yet, but I got some of the PneumaticCraft stuff in here. So these are them. They're all charged up and everything. I'll show you what I got in them in a second. But for these to do anything, they need a program. And you do the program with these things, the programmer. And I made those like this. Show you over here. And reminder, we've got our AE system from our base all hooked up here. So took some mostly red plastic and some black plastic and one of these printed circuit boards we made with our little assembly system and turbine rotors that we made in the pressure chamber, and we get a programmer. So I got a couple of them set up here. So in this one, we're going to do the sphere. And to do the sphere, we're going to need some GPS tools. So these you use to mark coordinates. Oh, and I got all my puzzle pieces in this chest as well. Let's see, let's go ahead and put this there and that there. These are already marked, but we'll redo it just so that you can see how it's done. So over here, and in fact, I wonder if I can like shift clear these. I don't think I can, but that's all right. You know what? Just so you guys see how it's done, let's put these back in here and let's make some fresh ones. So these are the GPS tools. Go like that. And like that, and let's see if I have enough stuff in here to make 3. Yeah, so we'll just use some fresh ones, and we'll just do this one from scratch, so you guys can see how it's done. So I want to make a big sphere, so let's go down inside here, And let's grab the point of our center, which is this star core. You stand on top of it because I got to do a shift right click, right? So shift right click, and you can see there's a little coordinate marker that's inside of that now. And it's when I'm holding that particular GPS, it shows the coordinate that's marked on it. So each GPS can mark one coordinate. And if we go into that one now, it says what the other one we looked at and says that these are the coordinates of where this star core is. So that's cool. We got that. That's our center of everything of the sphere, because it's all going to be based around this mini sphere here. I just got to show you, I got a little carpenter's trap door here, which I marked with a grass block. And I don't know. It's a simple pleasure, but I love how it changes like that. Anyway, no big deal. So we've got that, right? So that's the center. Now, how big do we want to make this thing? I want to make it about 32 blocks in, with a radius of 32 blocks, right? It's going to be pretty big. So it's going to be 64 or 65 diameter sphere. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead in this one and program in the coordinates. Now, I could just write them. Let me save myself a little bit of work. And let me get back on here. I should have done this before. And we're going to just set both of these, all three of them, to that center point, okay? And then let's go back out here. Now, so these all mark the same point. If we go in here, I'm just going to change one of these in order to raise it up. So we're going to just raise the Y. And I'm going to add about 32 to this, but there's also the center to account for. So let's go up to about 177. Or actually, let's go 178. Yeah, so just a straight 32. So this will actually be a 65 diameter sphere from edge to edge. All right, so we know that one is that. Now, if we just did that, it's going to make a solid sphere. And let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead in here and, oops, throw that away. Meant to do that beforehand. That was my practice. And we're going to start again. So when you program in PneumaticCraft, you got to use these little puzzle pieces. And these aren't the actual ones I made, right? These are them. And right for now, you can grab as many of these as you want. And they're not real yet. You're just writing the program, okay? And improvements they've made is they give you a lot more space in here. Martin has worked on this quite a bit. Used to be you'd run out of room for your program, and that was it. But now you can scroll in and out, and you can go back and forth. So there's lots of room to make your program here. So, and you can pull this out and get all your puzzle pieces. So you always start with a start. That's just says that's the beginning of the program. Now, the first thing our drones are going to need to do is they're going to need to get some blocks to build with. So we need to do an import from inventory. Let's make this a little bigger. And then these, you can see, can take various parameters that fit on here. If you guys have ever programmed with Scratch or something like that, this is very similar, using the puzzle pieces to do a program. So I really like it. And really, with all these pieces, I've got it clicked on Advanced here. He's really added to the things you can do. There's all these different commands and conditions and stuff. And I've looked a little bit into it, but there's a lot more to it that I want to learn in order to get these things to do all kinds of advanced things. You know, and they can right click and they can left click and they can attack and they can dig and they can place and drop things and they can do liquids and give redstone signals and teleport and go places and pick up entities and on and on and on. And so super cool. Lots of possibilities. So anyway, moving along here, the area, which I already pulled one out of, but that's okay because we're actually going to need 3 of these in the end. We need to tell it where the chest is that it picks stuff up from. So we'll get into that in a second, but this is cool because it tells you, when it's red like this, it tells you that there's something that still needs to be done here. There's no area specified for where to pick up the objects. So we'll get to that. Now over here, next thing after it picks up the blocks that we're going to build with, we want it to place them. So this is the place command, and it fits on here. Programs flow from top to bottom generally, and so you just got to put things in order that they need to happen. So now the way this place thing works is the area where we wanted to place the blocks, we place on the right. Okay, that's a very clear distinction that you need to be clear on. If you wanted to build a sphere, you want the things that it actually is going to place on the right. So that's going to be our full size sphere. So if we right click on this, there's all these different shapes that we could have it build. And they've added some new ones too. They had a lot of these before, but now it's added a lot of directionality. You can make cylinders in X, Y, and Z, and pyramids in X, Y, Z, and so on. We're going to make a straight sphere this time, or not straight, of course, but a simple. There's no X, Y, Z to a sphere on that level as far as rotation. And a couple new ones too over here are grid. You can place things every number of blocks you want with an extra parameter that's down here now. And also you have the random one. You can tell how many blocks within a certain, it's going to be a square shape or a cube shape rather, or a rectangular prism. How many blocks you want it to randomly place within that space. And we're going to make use of this too. This also uses this extra parameter. But for now, we're going to keep it simple. And we're making a sphere. So we're going to designate the 2 points. The first point is going to be the center. That's the first one we did. So you can left click on that and it goes right up there. And so then we can just escape out of that. And we want to do the second point. And this is the one where we raised the Y, right? We added 32 to the Y. So we're going to put that one as the second point. So we've got a middle, and this could be basically anywhere on the outside of the sphere. I just kept it simple in order to have a radius that I knew what it was, and I just raised the Y. So that point would be directly above us. And I forgot to show you. See, you can see it right there. See how it goes yellow? That's where our 32 is. And that's where our middle is. So, okay. Now, if we just made that, this one right here, another feature is when you right click on it, you can have it show the area. Let's go ahead and do that. It takes a second, but it then shows you the whole thing it's going to make. Now, you can see it is indeed going to make a big sphere. It looks pretty cool already, but it's a solid sphere. And we don't want it to be a solid sphere. We want it to be hollow. Oh, hello. I actually don't have any weapons on me, and I didn't light anything up. Here we go. Hello. Thank you. Okay, so let's go find our way through all this green-black mess and go back in here and tell it to stop showing area. So what we can do to hollow this out is the right side is everything that is going to be placed. The left side is basically the anti-place. It's all the things that you want to be excluded. So we want to make basically an area that is one radius shorter than smaller than this one here. So if this one was at 178, right? And I like to change the order like this. So this is the outer sphere at 178. This one, the Y should be at 177, like that. And if we go up here and look, see right now it's showing that one. There's the 178, there's the 177, right? One above the other. So if we now, oh, look at that. Every time I go up there, we get a zombie. One time I got a creeper. So anyway, so let's set this one. We're going to go in here. We're going to make it a sphere. We're going to set the first point, which is still the same point, right? The center. Escape out of there. Select the second GPS point, which is this one now. And here's the big thing. We don't want to do it here because this will just show us another solid sphere, right? We were inside of this area. Let's right click on the place and tell it to show the area. And ta-da! The one on the left that was one smaller is now subtracted from the one on the right, which is the one that's actually going to get placed. So the inner sphere, the one on the left, is negative, basically. It's subtracted, not placed. Those are all the places to exclude. Hopefully I made that clear enough. So yeah, that's the smaller one subtracted from the bigger one. And we're going to get this. So the drones will now place any block we want in any one and all of these little green marker spaces. That's pretty cool. We got some zombies in there. I got to light this place up. All right, we'll get to that. So we're pretty much there. As far as I can remember, we've got the... Let's build it from high to low. Doesn't really matter there. And, oh, actually, there are a couple more things we need to do as far as our program goes. So let's just tidy this up a little bit. So it's going to import from an inventory. It's going to pull anything out of that inventory. So let's give it a filter and tell it to only pull out a certain kind of item. And then also when we place, just in case it picks up the wrong thing, let's tell it to only build with a certain kind of item. And then at the end, we're going to want it to put all its blocks back. When you're done playing, you got to put all your toys away. And then at the very end, let's tell it to go to a certain place. So it won't just stop wherever it finished. It'll actually come back to a certain area. So we need to tell it where the chest is, stuff goes back to, and then where to go to at the end. So these all need to be filled in. So for the item, we can use a text thing. No, we don't. We just let's search for the item is the easiest way to do it. You could also tell it to look in a certain inventory, but we want to do, I'm actually going to build a little delay here going on when I type with thickened glass. And it's because, oops, it's hard on the frame rate having all those little green blocks showing. There it is, this one. So that's what I want to build with. I'm going to build it out of glass, but I'm not going to leave it just glass. But that's what I want to start with. And one of the problems I had before was that we don't need metadata, just use the straight glass. I think we're good with all of this other stuff. That's the problem I had before. Is I couldn't build out of any material I wanted with this, even though it will build a sphere. It was limited to vanilla blocks and to the mods blocks in order to do that. Now, I actually didn't need to put the second one here, because a good trick you can do is if you middle click on that, which my middle click's a little stiff, so I rolled a little bit too, you can duplicate a block. So I just duplicated that rather than do that search again. Now, as far as where the materials are going to go, let me see. In here, I've made a couple of these resonant strong boxes. I was thinking, let's just put it right here, right next to our ME system, and we can import and export out of it. So let's get a export bus, which we don't have any of, so let's make one. And then import bus while we're at it, so we can clear it out afterwards, but we won't do anything with that. I have two of those. Cool. So, and we want to put thickened glass. I've made 13,000 of them, which according to plots.uk, plots.co.uk, I need about 10,000 to build this. And one of the reasons I chose glass, among other reasons, is besides liking what they look like, what it would look like, is that sand is one of the blocks I have the most of right now. And so I could make the glass from sand, and that makes it real easy to have the materials I need to do this. I guess I could have made it out of lots of wood too, but I don't think that would have the same kind of sci-fi effect. So let's go ahead and put the export bus right there. And then I'm going to tell it to export thickened glass. And it should be enough time, hopefully. We don't need a speed upgrade. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's put an acceleration card on there since we have them. think it can take 4. And we'll go ahead. Oop, wrong thing. Put those right there. That should fill up real fast. So we'll have a full supply. And then when we build the next thing and we change what we want, let me see. Let me get a smart cable. We want to empty this out. We can go ahead and just, let me see, put this here and then this here. And we can go ahead and export whatever we want back out. So that's cool. And so now we need to mark this. I'm going to go ahead and recycle this GPS and use it for that. You can see that's in there. So that's our pickup point. And then while we're at it, let me see, somewhere here I should have some ender chests. No, let's see one in there. Let's see if I have one in this guy. No, that's okay. We can make one if we don't have one. Ender chest. Alright, got some black wool. Ender chest. Because black is the color that I use for the catch-all chest, the one that empties back into the ME. So there. And while we're at it, let's just make a bunch of them. We always need these. And let's put one there. And then let's just put one of these in some spot where they'll dump their inventory back in. So we'll just put the dumping point right there, and we'll mark that one. And we get a block inside there. So now we can pretty much finish this program. We can go ahead and say, okay, the one that you're picking up from is, just need 1 point for this, is there, right? And so this then contains that point where that chest is. And then for the one that you're going to drop off in, let's pick this one right here, the second one where the ender chest is. That's done. And finally, when it's done with its job, let's have it hang out. Let me see. Let me just get around. All right, a little bit of glitchy behavior there, but we're back, and I gotta hurry up because I'm probably taking too long now with this episode, and we have lots more to do, but I want to make this thing before we're done, so I'm going to press on. So those two sides where we just identified that we have pressure coming through these two interfaces. All right, I should have, I'm losing pressure. Let's get my wrench. I should put that piece last. Okay, but what I want to do is I want to have recharging coming out of the two sides here. Let's see, I don't have enough spots. So I'm going to go ahead and just get both of these sides, and I can see right now that I'm going to need to make some more pipe. So I'll do that real quick. But I'm going to put a charging station on each of those sides right there. I don't want to do that yet. I already learned that, right? And then come up here, and it's going to grab onto the side. So let me go make some more of these guys, and I'll be right back. Let's see, get that out of my hand. There we go. Now it shows up. So it can import from the sides of the programmer, but not from the back. Okay. So I'm going to put it there so that they can share with this one where I have some of our next programs already done. So go ahead and export that to this particular drone, and now you can see, maybe, I don't know, well, most of these were at 32, so you can see that it used the pieces up that were in that program. So every time you program a drone with it, you have to have this many pieces available, the puzzle pieces, to be exported to that drone. So this one's ready to go. Now, the only thing we don't have for this is a recharging station. I've got some of those in my bag here. We're going to need this and this. Let's do 2 of them. We're going to need some of these advanced pressure tubes. We're going to need dispenser upgrades. We're going to need 20 speed upgrades. And we're going to need some volume upgrades. as well. And what I'm going to do is I've got this set up. Let's see, let's check our sides. This is, I believe, that's the west and the east. I've got it set up so that we've got pressure coming through on two sides. It's going out of this interface, which is the west, and it's going out of, lost my bearings, this interface, which is the east. So we have pressure that we can connect to for charging things up. And these guys may have enough pressure in them already, but I don't want to take the chance of them running out of pressure and just falling out of the sky. All right, a little bit of glitchy behavior there, but we're back, and I got to hurry up because I'm probably taking too long now with this episode, and we have lots more to do, but I want to make this thing before we're done, so I'm going to press on. So those two sides where we just identified that we have pressure coming through these two interfaces. All right, I should have, I'm losing pressure. Let's get my wrench. I should put that piece last. Okay, but what I want to do is I want to have recharging coming out of the two sides here. Let's see, I don't have enough spots. So I'm going to go ahead and just get pipes going out both of these sides. And I can see right now that I'm going to need to make some more pipes. So I'll do that real quick. But I'm going to put a charging station on each of those sides right there. I don't want to do that yet. I already learned that, right? And then come up here. And it's going to grab onto the side. So let me go make some more of these guys, and I'll be right back. And just in case you're curious, here's my little assembly system that is taking the compressed iron, drilling them out, and then the little laser comes and cuts them into the advanced pressure tubes. Very cool. And puts it back in the box. All right, I got enough of the advanced pressure tubes, and these two sides are ready to hook up. That scared me for a second. So I've got it popping out over here. So let's go ahead and grab these two guys. And then hopefully I get this directionally right. Yeah, it connected up. Cool. And then in each of these charging stations, first they're really slow. So we're going to add 10 speed upgrades, which is the max you can add. And then we're going to add 10 volume upgrades, which just makes them hold more air pressure so that they don't need to get it from the pipe as quickly. So that should help them charge these things up pretty quickly. Otherwise, it takes a while. Now, for the drones to be able to charge themselves, you can take a drone and you can put it in like this, and they get charged. Oh, I shouldn't put it in, actually, because it's going to lose pressure. Well, I'll go ahead and put this one as a sacrifice. Actually, let me get one that doesn't have the program yet and put it in. Oh, now it actually, yeah, gave its program, its pressure to this. Well, we got this here. You know what? Actually, let's go ahead and hook this one up. Bam. That closes it. Whenever you have an open end of the pipe, of the tube, it loses pressure. So now we can actually put that one back in there, and it should charge back up. Maybe, oh yeah, this thing is coming up to pressure. Anyway, the thing I wanted to show you is when you have them inside here, this is when you can look into the drone's inventory, and you can see each one of the drones I fully upgraded too. They have the speed upgrades, so they fly around a lot faster. They have the volume upgrades, so that they can go a lot further without needing to be recharged. They have dispenser upgrades, and this makes them hold more. Apparently, they can hold one stack of items unupgraded, and each additional stack allows them to hold another stack of things, something like that. And then one life upgrade, which gives them the ability to regenerate, to regen if they get hurt. They actually have hit points. These guys shouldn't get hurt, so not really an issue. If this was like a combat drone, I'd have 10 of these or more in there. Anyway, this is going up to 9 point something right here, so any drone can go in here. Actually, no, it's exceeded that. That's cool. And this thing can go up to 20, so that's great. It's full pressure, max that the drone can receive. Now, the other thing I started to talk about is for a drone to be actually to charge itself here, it can't go and put itself in there. What you got to do is add the dispenser upgrade. Now, see, look, it's got that little platform on top. Drones will actually come on their own when they're sensing they're low on pressure and come charge themselves up. And they'll do that. That's already written into their code. So you don't need to add that to the program. Let's go ahead and do the same thing over here. We're going to put the charging station down. We're going to give it the speed upgrades, the volume upgrades, and the dispenser upgrade. And come on up here and hook it up. Excellent. And then if we, let me see, let's get a saw. And I forget if you can do microblocks with the thickened glass. You can. That's excellent. Because then we can go ahead and get covers from them. And then with the covers, these things will work with microblocks. So we can go ahead, just cover that up. And we're good to go with that. So put those in there. Excellent. So this first drone now, I think, should be ready to go. Here's the big test. Otherwise, we got to debug my program. This is the one that everything's in. So you can just place it down anywhere. Bang. It's going to go get the materials. It's flying up because we told it to build from the top up. And it is going to start placing things. So that's very cool. Hopefully it'll get it all right. And it is starting to build our sphere for our Redwood planet base-oid. So now if we want it to go faster, these things will actually work in conjunction with each other. When I first went in here before and I saw this happen, I got scared. I'm like, where did my program go? But what happens is it tends to go towards the corner, I guess. Oops, I just messed up my program. I was trying to drag the whole thing. See, that one must be this one. Right there. Okay. Anyway, let's put that in there. Let's put this other drone in there. Import the program to it. And then when we place this one down somewhere, up there, like there, it should go get some stuff and go do the same thing. Now, with all the speed upgrades, one of them already was making quite a bit of progress. And we can even just expand this along here, and we can get as many as we want doing this. And, you know, there's no worry about wasting the program pieces, because when you're done, you can get them back. So let's just go ahead and import it to as many of these as we can until we run out of pieces. I don't think we should. We have quite a bit of them. Import that and import that. Yeah, we had enough for everybody. So we can go ahead and just place these down. And we're just going to get all 7 of them building this thing. Now, how cool is that? You know, this thing had more than 10,000 blocks to build it. So I would have had to place blocks 10,000 times to do this, but the drones are just doing it themselves. And they should, hopefully, they're all doing their thing. We got 4 or 5, yeah, seems like all 7 of them busy building, and they somehow communicate with each other so that they can all task together like this. I just think that's super neat, and it's just so much easier than doing it yourself as well. So, right on. I could do a little speedy up bit here. Maybe I will. This can back up a little bit, and we're just going to watch these guys build this thing. Now, they have a lot of pressure in them. They should, if they run out of pressure, come and recharge themselves on these things. And I hooked them both up. Yep. All right. So I'm going to put some music on and hang out. I don't know. Let's go where we can see them recharge. And just hang out for a little bit and watch them build this thing. I know the glass is not the most visible material, I did use a bright glass, the thickened glass, with the lighter edges over something like the quite clear glass, just because it stands out a little bit better. But we're going to do some more afterwards, and might have to wait till next episode. We'll see. But for now, enjoy the tunes and watch the thing get built even faster. And they are just finishing up the bottom now. I got myself in here just in time before I got sealed out. And I believe they are done. I think they sealed themselves out. Hopefully that's not a problem. And they can teleport. Let's see if any of them ended up back up here. So there's at least one there. It's hard to tell sometimes how many they are because they all like crowd into the same spot. Did they all come up yet? This thing is bigger than the render distance on them. So we'll see. And then hopefully they put all their blocks back as well. So I'd say that that was a successful run. Oh, I can't open this with this. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's empty. Wow. Oh, because they pulled them all out. On the ender chest. Oh! I forgot to make this my personal ender chest. So let's get my pneumatic wrench and let's count up how many drones we have that made it here. So let's see. Should be able to right click on them and get them to come down. Game's a little overtaxed. There we go. Game is a little taxed from doing all that. So yes, no. All right. I can't seem to reclaim them right now, but usually that's how you do it. Anyway, I got to wrap it up because this has gone on longer than I probably should have. I just want to show you the last bit that I want to do on here, which is let me grab a bunch of grass like this and a bunch of that star dirt. These guys here. And then I've got the wand of equal trade on me. So let's start with some grass. I'm going to shift right click on that. And what I was thinking of doing is in each of these spaces here, just doing a right click and letting it kind of do its thing organic. Oh, it forms squares. I didn't realize that. I was hoping to create some kind of organic shapes this way. Oh, it does do full squares. Okay, well, I'll have to do it up myself a bit. But basically, I was going to make patches of grass. I'll use the regular grass on the top. I got to do it something like this so it looks a little bit more organic. And then on the bottom, where we're working against gravity, I wanted to do it with the star dirt. So, like, if we take one of these, I can actually grab one from down here and then go ahead and do the same thing down here. I'm a little disappointed that it forms perfect squares, but that's okay. Oh, and I'm full. Let me see. What did I do with this? There we go. We go ahead and put some of this away. Boink, boink, boink. Yeah. Anyway, we'll finish decorating it next time. But we have done it. We have made an awesome sphere of glass, and the Redwood planet is coming along. So that's very cool, very cool. Let's see if I can grab these back one more time. Nope, not cooperating yet. So I'll figure out what's going on with that afterwards, but it looks like everybody's coming home. I probably just have a little client desync going on, but anyway, that's a small problem. I will resolve that. But the better news is this whole thing worked out really well. So this is Monkeypuzzle, and I'm going to sign out in the middle of this. And we are going to continue quite a bit. Actually, one thing I should show you real quick is we did this. Oops. I've got that. Let's get this back. We did this together, this little program here for the sphere. And I've got this program over here ready to go for the rings. So we'll get into that later, but you can see we're doing something a bit more complex, and we will get into that in the very next episode. So with that, I'm going to go back up here and sign out again. Monkeypuzzle, signing out with the sun coming up, but I am protected from the weather and the elements in my little planetoid. Oh yeah, and we'll play with gravity on it next time too, because we are out of time for sure. But Anyway, I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching until the very end. Bye-bye.